Hello students, we will talk about human health and disease. In this chapter, now we will take up the next topics, that is vaccination and immunization, disorders of immune system and lymphoid organs. Students, you might have seen your vaccination chart which depicts number of vaccines which were given to you after your birth till date. These are given to you so that you are immunized against number of deadly microorganisms. Vaccination and immunization is based on the property of memory of the immune system. Our immune system can remember that a particular pathogen has came earlier also, and it will generate appropriate, quick and intensified response second time. In vaccination, vaccines are introduced into the body. What is a vaccine? Vaccine is a preparation of antigenic proteins of pathogens, or it may be inactivated or weakened pathogens. These vaccines, when introduced into the body, will produce the antibodies against these antigens. These antibodies would neutralize the pathogenic agents during actual infections. These antibodies will also generate memory B and T cells, which will recognize that this pathogen has came earlier in body or not, and subsequently they will generate a quick response and it will start killing or fighting the germs with the massive production of antibodies. Vaccination and immunization are different processes. Vaccination refers only to the administration of a vaccine or a toxoid. Toxoid is a modified bacterial toxin that has been made non-toxic, but it still retains the capacity to stimulate the formation of antitoxins. Immunization is the process by which the body produces antibodies against the vaccine's preventable diseases through administration of specific vaccines. Sometimes antitoxins have to be given to a person. If a person is infected with some deadly microbes to which a quick immune response is required, as in the case of tetanus or diphtheria, we need to directly inject the preformed antibodies or antitoxins. Antitoxins are a preparation containing antibodies to that particular toxin. Even in case of snake bites, the injections which is given to the patient contains preformed antibodies against the snake venom. This type of immunization is called as passive immunization because ready-made antibodies from other organisms are injected to a particular person or the person who is having snake bites or some deadly diseases. Recombinant DNA technology has allowed the production of antigenic polypeptides of pathogens in some organisms like bacteria or yeast. Vaccines which are produced by this approach will allow large-scale production and hence will pose greater availability for immunization. Hepatitis B vaccine is produced by recombinant DNA technology. It is produced from yeast. Now students, we will talk about various disorders of immune system. Allergy. Are you allergic to some substances? How your body reacts to certain substances? The exaggerated response of the immune system to certain antigens present in the environment is called as allergy. The substances to which such an immune response is produced are called as allergens. Allergy is also called as hypersensitiveness of a person to certain substances. The common examples of allergens are mites in dust, pollens, and animal denders. The antibodies which are responsible for the production of allergies in body are of IgE type. Allergic reactions include sneezing, watery eyes, running nose, and difficulty in breathing. Allergy is caused due to the release of chemicals like histamine and serotonin from the mast cells in our body. For determining the cause of allergy, the patient is exposed to or injected with very small dose of possible allergens, and the reactions are studied after that. Allergies can be reduced by using the drugs like antihistamine, adrenaline, and steroids. These drugs can reduce the symptoms of allergy quickly. As we have discussed that our immune system is also possessing a property to distinguish between its self and non-self cells. Sometimes due to some genetic or some other unknown reasons, the immune system or the body starts attacking its own cells. It will attack its self cells. This results in damage to the body or malfunctions of the body. This is called as immune disease, and thus the immunity is referred to as autoimmunity. Rheumatoid arthritis is one of the autoimmune disorders or diseases. This picture shows a person suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. Now students, we will talk about lymphoid organs. As you know that our immune system is consisting up of lymphoid organs, tissue cells and soluble molecules like antibodies. Immune system plays an important role in allergic reactions, autoimmune diseases and organ transplantation, which we have just discussed. Now we will talk about lymphoid organs. Lymphoid organs are the organs where origin or maturation and proliferation of lymphocytes occur. Lymphoid organs are of two types, primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. Bone marrow and thymus, they will form the primary lymphoid organs. These are the organs where immature lymphocytes differentiate into antigen-sensitive lymphocytes. Lymph nodes, tonsils, Peyer's patches of small intestine and appendix form secondary lymphoid organs. Secondary lymphoid organs provide the site for interaction of lymphocytes with antigens, which then proliferate to become effector cells. The bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where all blood cells including lymphocytes are produced. The thymus is a lobed organ located near the heart and beneath the breastbone. Thymus is quite large at the time of birth, but it will keep on reducing in size with age. And by the time you reach puberty, it will attain or it will be reduced to a very small size. Both bone marrow and thymus provide microenvironments for the development of and maturation of T lymphocytes. Therefore, these are called as primary lymphoid organs. Stem cells in red bone marrow give rise to undifferentiated lymphocytes. These undifferentiated lymphocytes, through the blood transport, some of them will migrate to the thymus glands. Here these will be processed and will become T cells. Some undifferentiated lymphocytes are processed probably within the bone marrow only, and these will become B lymphocytes or B cells. Both T and B cells are transported through the blood to lymphatic organs such as lymph nodes, lymphatic ducts, and spleen. Spleen is a large bean-shaped organ. It mainly contains lymphocytes and phagocytes. Spleen functions as a filter of the blood by trapping blood-borne microorganisms. Spleen is also known as graveyard of RBCs, therefore it is a large reservoir of erythrocytes. Next we have lymph nodes. Lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are small solid structures which are located at different points in our body. Lymph nodes serve to trap the microorganisms or other antigens which try to enter our body through the lymph and tissue fluids. Antigens trapped in these lymph nodes are responsible for the activation of the lymphocytes present there, and this will generate the immune response. There is a lymphoid tissue known as MALT. mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue. This is present in the linings of the major tracts of respiratory, digestive and urinogenital tracts. This tissue constitutes about 50% of the lymphoid tissue in the human body. Students, I hope you have understood these topics. Now let's see whether you can answer these questions. Name the primary and secondary lymphoid organs in human body. Which type of immunity is provided by vaccines? What are allergens? Name few common types of allergens. Define an autoimmune disease. Give examples of such a disease. Expand MALT. Why is a patient suffering from tetanus administered with an antitoxin and not any vaccine? I hope you are able to answer these questions now. Thank you and have a nice day.